Hello, vibrant middle-aged friends. Today, we're going to discuss a really important topic. It's about insulin and insulin resistance. Emily, could you first explain what role insulin plays in our body?
Yes, David. Insulin is a hormone secreted by beta cells in the pancreas and plays a key role in regulating blood sugar. When we eat food, our blood sugar rises, and insulin binds to receptors on the cell surface to help glucose enter the cell. Think of it as a key and lock relationship. Without insulin, no matter how much glucose there is, cells can't use energy.
But the problem is that as we reach middle age, insulin often doesn't work properly, right?
Exactly. This is called insulin resistance. Simply put, think of it as having a key, but the lock doesn't open well. This causes blood sugar to keep rising, and the pancreas works harder to produce more insulin. This is the starting point of diabetes. Especially after age 40, muscle mass decreases and abdominal fat increases, making this problem rapidly worsen.
I heard that insulin resistance is closely related to weight gain.
That's correct. When insulin is high, fat storage becomes more active, especially in the abdomen. High insulin also interferes with leptin, the hormone that makes us feel full, causing us to constantly feel hungry. This leads to eating more and gaining more weight, creating a vicious cycle. Plus, high insulin inhibits fat breakdown, making it harder to lose weight.
Let me take a moment to summarize this for everyone. When insulin resistance occurs, blood sugar rises, insulin rises, fat accumulates more easily, and we constantly feel hungry. A vicious cycle begins. What are the specific causes of insulin resistance?
There are several causes. First, muscle mass decreases with age. Muscle is the main site of insulin action, so when muscle decreases, insulin has nowhere to work properly. Second is abdominal obesity. Abdominal fat secretes inflammatory substances that worsen insulin resistance. Third is lack of exercise. Without regular exercise, muscles weaken and insulin sensitivity decreases.
So, what are the ways to improve insulin resistance?
The most effective method is exercise. Strength training is particularly important because when muscle increases, insulin sensitivity greatly improves. Just walking for 30 minutes a day can improve insulin resistance. Combining aerobic exercises like walking, jogging, swimming with strength exercises like squats and push-ups is even more effective.
I used to experience severe drowsiness after meals, and I found this was related to insulin resistance. After starting exercise, those symptoms decreased significantly. When is the best time to exercise?
Exercising 30 minutes to 1 hour after meals is most effective. This is when blood sugar is highest, and exercise helps muscles use a lot of glucose, quickly lowering blood sugar. Even a light 10 to 15-minute walk after breakfast can have significant effects.
What about diet? What helps?
The most important thing is controlling the type and amount of carbohydrates. Avoid refined carbohydrates like white rice, bread, and sugar, and focus on whole grains, vegetables, and protein. Meal order is also important. Eat vegetables first, then protein, and finally carbohydrates to make blood sugar rise more gradually. Eating fiber-rich vegetables first slows carbohydrate absorption.
What specific foods help improve insulin resistance?
Great question. First is protein. Chicken breasts, fish, and legumes provide long-lasting satiety and moderate blood sugar rise. Second is fiber-rich vegetables. Green vegetables like broccoli, spinach, and cabbage help control blood sugar. Third is good fats. Unsaturated fats like olive oil, avocado, and nuts improve insulin sensitivity.
I heard intermittent fasting also helps with insulin resistance.
Yes. 16 to 8 intermittent fasting or maintaining 12-hour fasting can greatly improve insulin sensitivity. Especially not eating anything after 7 p.m. is effective. During fasting, fat burning becomes active, insulin levels drop, and insulin resistance improves. It's good to start with 12 hours and gradually increase.
I heard that stress also affects insulin resistance.
That's a really important point. When the stress hormone cortisol is high, insulin resistance worsens. Simply put, when stressed, the body recognizes it as a dangerous situation and tries to store energy. Chronic stress increases inflammation, increases abdominal fat, and disrupts sleep, worsening insulin resistance. Sufficient sleep, meditation, deep breathing, and yoga are essential for improving insulin resistance.
Is sleep also important?
Yes, sleep deprivation is one of the major causes of insulin resistance. 7 to 8 hours of sufficient sleep is needed, and especially deep sleep is important. Sleep deprivation disrupts the balance of hunger and satiety hormones, causing overeating and worsening insulin resistance. Maintaining regular sleep patterns is also important.
Let me summarize for everyone. To improve insulin resistance, exercise, diet control, intermittent fasting, stress management, and sufficient sleep are all important.
Are there nutrients related to insulin resistance?
Yes, several nutrients help. First is magnesium. Magnesium is essential for insulin action, but most modern people are deficient. It's abundant in nuts, green vegetables, and whole grains. Second is chromium. Chromium improves insulin sensitivity and is found in broccoli, grapes, and nuts. Third is omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 in fatty fish and nuts reduce inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity.
Finally, how can we check for insulin resistance?
The simplest method is measuring waist circumference. For men over 90 centimeters and women over 85 centimeters, the risk of insulin resistance is high. Also, if fasting blood sugar is over 100 milligrams per deciliter, or 2 hours post-meal blood sugar is over 140 milligrams per deciliter, you should be suspicious. Symptoms like fatigue, post-meal drowsiness, increased thirst, and frequent urination also suggest insulin resistance.
What changes can we expect from improving insulin resistance?
There are really many changes. First, weight loss becomes much easier. When insulin normalizes, fat burning becomes active and satiety lasts longer, preventing overeating. Second, energy increases. When blood sugar stabilizes, fatigue decreases, and you can maintain an energetic state all day. Third, the risk of chronic diseases like diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular disease greatly decreases.
This was really useful information. Improving insulin resistance will not only help with weight loss, but also greatly improve overall health.
That's right. Improving insulin resistance has more meaning than just losing weight. It's the most powerful health management method that can prevent diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even Alzheimer's. The best part is that you can start right now. If you gradually exercise, improve your diet, and manage stress starting today, you'll definitely feel changes.
Let me suggest one small habit you can start today. Take a 10-minute walk after lunch today. Small actions create big changes. And don't eat anything after 7 p.m., maintaining 12-hour fasting until tomorrow morning. These 2 things alone will help improve insulin resistance.
That's a really good suggestion. Start with small actions and gradually increase. I'm cheering for your healthy changes.
This was really informative today. Vibrant middle-aged friends, I hope you live healthier lives through improving insulin resistance. See you next time.